last but not least, the third phase of the shot, the post phase. I want you to pay attention to how my finger goes from straight up behind the ball to, in my follow through as I release, it comes straight through and straight down. So we're bringing the finger in a straight 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock motion. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Just as I have you guys on the finger technique use the wrist snap in the level 1 drills, we are going to make sure that with the wrist snap, that index finger stays straight up 12 o'clock to straight down 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That is our basic wrist motion or wrist action, pushing the finger through. One of the things that I gave to a player not even 6 months ago that helped them kind of click and understand this is when they would shoot, I told them it should feel like you're pushing a button sometimes with the index finger, and see if that helps. If you don't feel like you're getting a good push on the index finger and that you have trouble keeping the index finger straight, you may need a stiffer or more firm release where the finger is directing the ball toward the basket. And what it feels like is that when you shoot, you're almost coming up and you're pushing a button. You're just snapping down and pushing a button with that index finger. So we're going straight from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock on this one. So I come up in 12 o'clock, I come down in 6 o'clock to finish. So it's index finger straight in our pre-shot, and then it's 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Ball stays straight. Again, come up at 12, finish down at 6. Again, bring the ball up at 12, finish down at 6. My regular shot, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The ball is centered both on you and the basket, and your index finger guides the ball pointing at 12 o'clock to start, 6 o'clock to finish. That way you know you're getting a snap straight through the ball into the middle of the basket. Now what we're doing in the post phase is probably a term that you've heard us use before in the Forest. It's finger through the rim. So what we're trying to define here is that after you shoot the ball, you want to leave your index finger at 6 o'clock through the middle of the rim, pointing down, so that you know and you get that feedback of, yes, I did this right. Or I see the flight of the ball, I see my index finger in the middle of the rim, the flight of the ball and the index finger direction are matching up through the middle of the basket, so I know I did my job. I can do the same thing on the next shot. If you do see your finger kind of veer off to one side or the other where you shoot and you have this variance of pulling or kind of just flopping, then we want to fix that on the next shot. And how we fix that on the next shot, again, is push the button. Okay, push the button is a good term to help you fix those fingers that are kind of flying off to the sides. But we want to make sure that we're getting the index finger through the middle of the rim on every shot. And how we do that is we use the phrase in our head, finger through the rim. We might even say that out loud to ourselves before we even shoot. But in this one, we're going to be focused on just the follow through, holding that follow through until the ball hits the rim or goes to the net, and then make our correction if we need to on the next shot by getting our feedback with the eyes, which you'll see in the eyes technique course. So let's go to the shot. Again, I'm going through my pre-shot phase of getting the finger in the middle, my present shot phase of 12 o'clock, and then my post-shot phase 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then my post-shot phase is holding that at 6 o'clock to make sure that everything stayed where it was supposed to. Holding it at 6 o'clock gives you the feedback you need. Remember, I said during the present shot that I shoot in front of me. So if I shoot in front of me, it should be easy for me to just glance up and see everything finishing straight into the center of the basket. All right? To do this, just say, finger through the rim. Again, hold that follow through until it goes to the net or hits the rim every single time. So I'm going to shoot and just look and make sure my finger is straight. Make sure you hold it there. You can see I'm holding it there well beyond the ball going through the rim or hitting the rim. I'm keeping it there even sometimes until the ball hits the ground. That gives me that little extra time to gain that feedback that I need. Let's do another exercise. In this exercise, we're going to actually say, finger through the rim right before we shoot. Looks like this. I get set, finger through the rim. And then I shoot and hold my follow through until the ball goes to the rim or hits the rim. Finger through the rim. Finger through the rim. Finger through the rim. Few things. It's best if you say it right before you start to shoot it so that you're done saying it when you start your motion. This is an example of that. Finger through the rim. Once you get really good at this and really used to it, you may find that you're able to actually say it as you shoot. Okay? I wasn't able to do that when I first started doing this, but as I became more and more comfortable and more confident in my shot, I was able to talk as I do it. This is an example of that. Finger through the rim. Finger through the rim. Finger through the rim. Finger through the rim. Now, I wouldn't advise actually saying the command as you shoot, as that can be a little bit more advanced of a technique, okay? You really have to have the confidence and the control in order to speak and shoot at the same time. Because the best shooters, when they shoot, they don't think while they shoot. So we're gonna work on this little technique, which is gonna be the last technique in our application of getting everything right in the post-shot phase of the drill. And to do that, we're gonna do what we did before. We're going to say finger through the rim before we start our shot. And after we release the ball and we hold our follow through, we're going to call out if it went straight, right, or left. Looks like this. Finger through the rim. Straight. Notice that I'm calling it out while the ball is on at way to the basket. I don't call it out after the ball gets to the basket. I have to see these things as the ball is in flight. That's why we want to look at our eyes technique later and see that we're actually seeing these things as the ball is in flight, not when it gets to the basket, okay? So I'm calling this out in flight. Finger through the rim. Straight. 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 So that's the third phase of our finger technique. That is the finger technique used in the post-shot phase. Okay? Go through these 3 techniques and then move on to our section 300 series, which goes over all the drills, and learn the mastery part of this, where you start with simple drills and start building up. And we'll add more and more drills as we go.